Welcome all of you. This video is for the benefit of third semester BCom students of Mangalore University in the subject Financial Accounting 3. This video is the initiative of Government of Karnataka, Department of Collegiate and Technical Education, Bangalore. Myself, Lokesh Nath B, presenting session number 39 in the topic of Death of a Partner, Unit 4 in Financial Accounting 3. Today, in this session, we are going to take up journal entries and treatment of goodwill in case of a death of a partner. In the previous session, we have taken up the goodwill, calculation of the goodwill, treatment of the goodwill, and passing of a journal entry on goodwill. In this session, we are going to take up the remaining items to be passed in case of a death of a partner. In this session, first we are going to take up accrued profits. As you are aware that a death can take place at any time of the year, whereas we can observe the retirement may be a planned activity. That means retirement can be planned in a such a way that may coincide with the last date of preparation of the balance sheet. For example, if a partner retires, he may plan to retire on the last day of the balance sheet. Then there is no need to prepare accounting records in the middle of the year. But in case of a death of a partner, that death may strike any time of the year. Since it may come to an end with a death of a partner, it is called as involuntary dissolution of partnership. The date of death and the accounting date may not coincide. That means it may fall on different date than the last day of the balance sheet. That is why in case of a death of a partner, it is necessary for us to prepare accounting information in the middle of the year. In that case, the profits of the business usually are measured at the end of the year. Since the death may happen at the middle of the year, it will be very difficult for the partnership firm to find out the exact profit. Once again, by preparing the profit and loss account. So therefore, what they do, they find out an estimated profit. To know what is the profit earned up to the date of death, and till the date of death, the deceased partner have contributed for the development of the partnership firm. his contribution have to be rewarded. Since he will be eligible for the reward, we need to find out what is the profit up to the date of death of a deceased partner. That is why we calculate profit up to the date of death of a deceased partner. The deceased partner should not be made to lose the profit for the period for which he was alive. So that is why we need to calculate profit, that is estimated profit up to the date of death. This profit we call it as accrued profit. The legal representative of the deceased partner has a right to claim his share of such profit up to the death. As you are aware, in case of a death of partner, the legal representative or the executor will be entitled to claim the estate of the deceased partner. The deceased partner's legal representative have a right to claim the share of profit up to the date of death. So, there is need to be an adjustment for profit have to be made from the accounting date to the date of death. And here we can find out the profit by usual manner, by preparation of the trading profit and loss account. But for the preparation of the trading profit and loss account, you need to find out what is the opening stock, what is the closing stock, what are the total purchases, what are the total sales. Taking up of calculation of all these balances in the middle of the year will take little time. In order to avoid the full preparation of the final accounts, in the case of a death of a partner, what we are going to do is we estimate the profit. So here up to the date of death, the deceased partner share of profit is estimated. So it is not the real profit. How the estimation is made? It is made on certain basis. So we can see here one prominent basis is the time basis. Another method is the sales basis. In our syllabus, we will be getting question on the calculation of the accrued profit based upon the time, and we will concentrate the calculation of the accrued profit based upon the time. So this is one of the method that is called as time basis. In the time basis, profit of the last year, or in many of the problem they may ask us to find out profits of the certain number of previous years or the past year. So profits of the last year or profits of the certain number of past year are taken as the basis. and the proportionate profit for the time period involved is determined on the assumption that profit is uniformly or evenly distributed throughout the year. Since profit is estimated, an assumption is made. The assumption assumes that profit are evenly distributed throughout the year so that the future profits can be estimated based upon this assumption. So this is the one method we are calculating the accrued profit on the basis of the time. Now, how to calculate this? There is a formula for calculation of this. Profit from the date of last balance sheet to the date of death is equal to, in the numerator, number of days or months from the last balance sheet to the date of death divided by 365 or 12 months into previous year's profit or average profits of a given number of past year. So this formula is used in the calculation of the accrued profit. In order to arrive at this, first we need to find out what is the average profits of the given number of years. How to find out the average profit? We take up the certain number of given profit, divide by that many number of years. So we get the average profits for a certain number of years. Then that the average profit, or in some problems it may be previous year's profit, is multiplied into the number of days from the last balance sheet to the date of death divided by 365, or the previous year profit or average profit are multiplied into number of months from the last balance sheet date to the date of death divided by 12 months. So that means if the days are given, then days, number of days he was alive divided by 365 days. If the months are given, number of months he was alive divided by the 12 months. Usually in our problems they will be giving the number of months, either 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, or as the case may be, you have to divide it by 12. Then the amount of the deceased partner's share is calculated on the basis of profit from the date of the last balance sheet to the date of death, which was calculated in the previous formula, into proportionate of share of the deceased partner. The deceased partner as a proportionate share in the old form, in the old ratio, is the share is multiplied, then we'll get the share of the deceased partner. This is the way in which we need to calculate the accrued profit for a certain number of given years. It is estimated on the basis of the time, maybe 1 year, maybe 2 years, maybe 3 years, or maybe 4 years. So that is why, since it is based upon the previous number of years or a previous year, it is called as a time basis. Most popular method is the time basis. So in our examination questions, they will be usually asking you the calculation of the accrued profit based upon the time. Then we will take up a certain information on the accrued profit. Now, how the accrued profit is adjusted? we have to open a profit and loss suspense account. Since this profit is not a real profit, we cannot carry this amount to the profit and loss account, because at this juncture we are not going to prepare the profit and loss account. For the meantime, until profit and loss account is prepared at the end of the accounting year, up until then this amount of the accrued profit is kept in a separate account. That separate account is known as a profit and loss suspense account. So the accrued profit is adjusted through the opening of profit and loss suspense account. The total profit or losses between the date of death may be distributed among all the partners in the old ratio, sharing ratio through profit and loss account. So alternatively, we can also calculate the accrued profit for all the partners, but this is not necessary. We are preparing accounting records on the date of death for the deceased partner, because his executors will be claiming the money due to the deceased partner. So since we prepare the accounting statement of the deceased partner, we need to calculate the accrued profit on the deceased partner, not on all the partner, but it may be also calculated on all the partner, but it is not necessary. What is the journal entry we are going to pass? If there is a profit and loss account is debited to all the partners' capital account. If there is a loss, all the partners' capital account is debited to profit and loss suspense account. Here you have to remember, profit and loss account is a nominal account. So the nominal account, here it is debited in the case of profit, and credit is given to all the partners' capital account. If there is a loss, all the partners' capital account is debited and credit is given to profit and loss suspense account. This is the journal entry we are going to pass when there is a accrued profit. Finally, what the profit and loss account suspense account should be done. As I said earlier, this account is a temporary account, because on the date of death we are not preparing the profit and loss account. So temporarily in a separate account it is kept. That temporary account is known as profit and loss suspense account. Now while preparing the final accounting records at the end of the year, whatever the balance which is kept in the profit and loss suspense account, that will be closed down and this balance will be transferred to profit and loss account at the end of the year. That is why this account gets closed. So far we saw the calculation of accrued profit on the basis of time, and what is the journal entry we have to pass in case of a accrued profit. Now we'll go to the second item. The another item which normally we come across in the death of a partner, like in any other retirement or other preparation of the partnership account is the transfer of accumulated profits and losses. These accumulated profits and losses have to be distributed to all the partners in their old ratio. Having said that, since we are preparing the accounting records only for the deceased partner, the general reserve or profit and loss account appearing in the old balance sheet will be transferred to the deceased partner. The remaining reserves can be kept in the new firm because the remaining partners will continue to run the business. If they decide to continue to run the business, that's general reserve and profit and loss account can be kept in the business itself. It need not be given to all the partner and shared among, but it can be shared among all the partners. What is the journal entry we are going to pass in case of accumulated profit? General reserve account will be debited, profit and loss account will be debited, and credit is given to deceased partner's capital account, being the accumulated profits transferred. Suppose if there is a loss, this accumulated profit will be on the liability side of the old balance sheet, whereas accumulated loss will be on the asset side of the old balance sheet. Or sometimes they may use debit or a credit. If it says accumulated balance, debit balance, then it is a loss. If accumulated balance is a credit balance, then it is a profit. So you have to remember accumulated profit or credit balance, which is shown on the liability side of the balance sheet. Accumulated losses or debit balance, which is shown on the asset side of the balance sheet. So once again, we'll see the journal entry. General reserve account is debited, profit and loss account is debited, credit is given to the deceased partner's capital. The reverse entry in case of a loss, deceased partner's capital account is debited to profit and loss account. So this is the second entry we saw in this particular session. Now we'll go to the next one. Even in case of a death of a partner, the deceased partner may be entitled maybe a salary, remuneration or commission or interest on capital. If he is entitled for a salary, the entry will be salary account is debited to deceased partner's capital account only with this share. Here we have to remember whether salary is an annual salary or monthly salary. If it is a monthly salary, then multiply into certain number of years only. If it is annual salary, then the amount of annual salary multiply into the number of months he was alive divided by total number of months. So we have to see whether it is annual salary or monthly salary. Accordingly, we need to calculate. So the entry will be salary account is debited to deceased partner's capital. So even when there is a commission, commission account is debited to deceased partner's capital. Sometimes he may be entitled for a interest on his capital. If he is entitled for a interest on capital, the entry will be interest on capital account is debited to deceased partner's capital. So such type of a payment may be salary or remuneration or commission, then we have to debit such expenses and credit is given to deceased partner's capital account. If there is interest on capital, debit is to be given to the interest on capital and credit is given to the deceased partner's capital account. Now we will see the next journal entry. The another items which normally we come across, the partner may withdraw for his private or domestic use. If he withdraws for private or domestic use, then we call it as a drawings. If there is any such amount is withdrawn by the partner, that is to be recorded. What is the entry? You have to remember that deceased partner's capital account is debited to deceased partner's drawings account, being the deceased partner's drawings transferred. So credit is given to the drawings account. Now we will see the next journal entry. Sometimes on drawing, interest may be charged. Otherwise, the partners may withdraw sums of money in order to curb withdrawal of the money for their private use. The firm may decide to charge interest on drawing. If there is any such interest on drawing is charged, then entry will be deceased partner's capital account is debited to interest on drawings account. So kindly remember, drawing is also credited, interest on drawing is also credited. Drawing is also credited, interest on drawings is also credited. We will go to the next. Closing the final amount due to the deceased partner. Now, upon the death of the partner, deceased partner's capital account is prepared and finally that has to be closed because he is no more in the business. We cannot continue in the name of the deceased partner capital. So that has to be closed down by either transferring the balance which is due to the deceased partner by opening a separate account which is called as executor account. Executor is the legal representative of the deceased partner. So his account is to be opened. Now the journal entry for closing the deceased partner's capital account will be deceased partner's capital account is debited to deceased partner's executor's account, being the capital account closed and transferred. These are the certain journal entries. Along with that, there is also entry on the goodwill, which we already have seen in the session number 38. Now he will take up one or two illustration on the calculation of the accrued profit. Calculation of the goodwill is already seen in the session 38. Then the other remaining items like transfer of accumulated profit, then interest on capital, salary, commission, drawings, interest on drawings, there is no necessary of solving the problem. Only two items which we are going to concentrate is calculation of the goodwill, which is already focused on the session number 38, and another is accrued profit. So he will take up one or two examples on this calculation of the accrued profit. So first illustration, A, B and C are partners in a business sharing profits in the ratio of 2:2:1. C dies on 1/4/2020. The profit for the accounting year ended on 31st December 2019 amounts to rupees 16,000. Calculate the share of the deceased partner in profits of the firm. This is a very simple problem, and here if we understand the problem, there are three partners, namely A, B and C, and they are in partnership business, and their old ratio is given. Old ratio is 2:2:1. Among the three partners, one of the partner, that is the last person, C, dies, and his date of death is given 1/4/2020. That means he dies, C partner dies on 1st of April 2020, and the profit is given, that is 16,000. So only 1 year profit is given. The profit is belonging to December 2019. That means this is the profit of the last year, and they have said it is the accounting year ended on 31st December 2019. So last day of accounting year is the 31st December. What it means? The deceased partner was alive during this year only for the month of January, February, March. So only 3 months he was alive. He died on 1st April, so April should not be counted. So only 3 months he was alive. So they have asked to calculate the share of the deceased partner in the profits of the firm. So in order to calculate, we need to have either average profit or the profits of the previous year. In this problem, they have given only the profits for the last year. So that will be the basis. So we are taking the profits for the year 2019 as it is given in the problem, 16,000. Then we will estimate the profits for the period from 1st January 2020 to the date of the death, that is 1/4/2020. So the total profit for the previous year is 16,000 into number of month he was alive. Number of month he was alive was only 3 months, that is January, February, March, divided by the total number of months, that is 12. So if we multiply 16,000 into 3 by 12, we get 16,000 divided by 4, that is 4,000. So the estimated profit for the period up to the date of death is 4,000. Then we need to find out the deceased partner share by multiplying into the estimated profit the deceased partner's share. The estimated profit we got in the previous session, previous slide, it is 4,000 into the deceased partner share in the old form, that is 2:2:1. The last person is the deceased partner, so that is the fraction is 1/5. So if we multiply 4,000 into 1/5, it becomes 800. So this is the accrued profit of the deceased partner up to the date of death. So this is one illustration. We will take up the another illustration. So I will be reading the second illustration. X, Y and Z were partners sharing profits and losses in the ratio of 3:2:1 respectively. X died on 31/3/2020. The profit for the calendar year are under 2017 rupees 8,000, 2018 rupees 7,600, 2019 rupees 9,000. The books of the accounts are closed every year on 31st December. The partnership deed provides for the share of profit till the date of death be estimated at the sum calculated on the average profits of the last 3 completed years' profit. Calculate the deceased partner's share of profit up to the date of death from the last balance sheet date. So they have asked to calculate accrued profit up to the date of death. Now we'll analyze the problem. There are 3 partners, X, Y and Z. And the old ratio is given. Old ratio is 3:2:1. Among this, the first partner, that is X, is died and the date of death is given 31/3/2020. The profit for the certain number of years are given. For the year 2017 it is 8,000. For the year 2018 it is 7,600. For the year 2019 it is 9,000. So they have given us 3 years profit. And it is said the books of the accounts are closed every year on the 31st December. That is the last accounting date is given. By this we can make out the deceased partner is lived for 3 months. That is January, February, March. March here it is taken because the date of death is the end of the March, that is 31/3. So since it is end of the March, we have to take that month also, that means 3 months. The partnership deed provides for the share of profit till the date of death be estimated at the sum calculated on the average of the last 3 completed years' profit. So they have said we have to take the average of the last 3 years. Which are the last 3 years? 2017, 18 and 19. The year of death is the 2020. So 3 years profit is to be taken. That is 8,000 plus 7,600 plus 9,000. And the question is calculate the deceased partner share of the profit up to the date of death from the last balance sheet date. Now we will solve the problem. So first we will find out what is the average profit. So as I said earlier, 3 years profits are given. Profits for the last 3 years are divided by the given number of years, that is in this case 3 years. So in the problem it is said 8,000, 7,600, 9,000. If we add all these together, we get 24,600 divided by as many of number of years of profit, that in this case it is 3. So if we divide 24,600 by 3, we get 8,200. Now we will estimate the profit The date of death is given 31/3/2020. Last balance sheet date is 31/12/2019. So we'll calculate the estimated profits for 3 months, that is from 1/1/2020 to 31/3/2020. So in the previous slide we got the estimated average profit is 8,200. So now that 8,200 will multiply into the number of months the deceased partner is alive. In this case it is 3 months, divided by the total number of months. In this case it is 12 months. So totally it is 2050. Now we will find out the deceased partner share of profit. 2050 into his share of profit. If you see the his share of profit is 3:2:1. So in this case X has died, so X share will be 3/6. 3, 2 and 1, that means 3/6. So 2050 into 3/6 is equal to 1025. So deceased partner share of profit will be 1025. So this is how we have to calculate the accrued profit for the deceased partner on the basis of time. There is another method that is on the basis of sales. Usually that is not asked in the examination. So we are concentrating only on the one method, that is the time basis. So along with the accrued profit of the business, we also have to see the journal entries for the other items like transfer of accumulated profits, then interest on capital, salary and remuneration, drawings, interest on drawings, and finally closing of the accounts. So these are the certain journal entries we are required to pass in case of a death of a partner. In the examination, though we will not be getting a special question exclusively on the passing of the journal entry, but while preparing the capital account, if we understand the journal entry, the entry will be clearly understood by the student. So that is why we need to first learn the journal entry, then we are go to the preparation of the capital account. So finally we can say by this particular topic we have understood the various journal entry in the preparation of the death of a partner, accounting treatments in case of a death of a partner. So with this I come to the end of this particular session numbered 39, and I thank all the viewers for patiently watching this particular video. Thank you very much.